All right, I'm here.
Okay.
So cold in Europe.
It's cold.
Yeah,
I'm in Europe too. What are you talking about?
it's cold.
No. Well, I mean, I guess compared to where you
Yeah,
co-
Bali.
compared to Bali, but you've been okay. So you remember what I said, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay. So, um, you you've been traveling all over the world though. Like,
Yeah,
what,
a
what,
little
what
bit.
well, what's going on?
Well, no, it's just everybody's asking me that, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know what you're working, what you're doing," but no, basically, the traveling has been my passion,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been working hard in like corporate, in the corporate world, in fashion companies, but traveling has been at some point my
Mm-hmm.
escapade, so that I can deal with the routine and everything that the corporate world comes with, and live
Okay.
in the city,
Are
So
you are you going back to that though? Are you ever going to go back? No, you done with that.
no, I'm done.
Snap.
No, it's been many years, It's been many years that I thought when you're young, you're like in your 20s and, you go in these big companies and they give you everything and they give you titles, they give you money, they make you feel like you're part of a family and that's
Mm,
all great and you learn a lot. But then depends on what you want out of life and then you grow in the process as well. You grow
mm-hmm.
up, you grow to be a different person. So yeah, at some point I just realized that I want to dedicate myself to projects that are more related. It was more social projects and projects that
Mm-hmm.
give back. So yeah, anyway, yeah, the traveling was a few times a year. It was
Mm-hmm.
my way to keep myself sane, let's put it that way,
Okay.
in the fast world.
Okay. Okay. So, what was up with this? You posted this Facebook. Did you know what post I was talking about when I wrote to you?
I think, yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah,
So this is kind of going into it. You were talking about like this like you used to have like the schedule. I guess it goes with your job and everything, where everything was all planned out. You knew what you were doing
yeah.
up to a couple years in advance. You said, like, now were you talking about like your schedule, or were you talking about like your plans, or were you saying like things were planned out for you, or you planned them out, or
It's it's all about it's all, everything is related because as I was saying, like when you work in a big company or when you work in any company, most of the cases, you have to follow a schedule,
mm-hmm.
and you have to plan your life and we sort of yeah, we plan our holidays, we plan our days, we plan when we're gonna eat, what we're gonna eat. Everything is so fast
Mm-hmm.
that we need to have it that way. And since I decided to leave this world and dedicate myself more to projects related with helping people in third world countries, so
Mm-hmm.
I decided to leave everything and take a big risk.
Mm-hmm.
So I am working with these people. So from working in a corporation where everything has a model of how it's supposed to work, to
Mm-hmm.
working with people who have never worked before in their lives,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be prepared, you have to be ready to be open
Mm-hmm.
to anything, and
What you mean?
that's
Hold on. What you mean having worked in their lives?
well, for example, I'm working with some tribes and with people who, well, basically, I'm trying the project is related to creating sustainable economic opportunities and creating jobs to
Mm-hmm.
places where there are none.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine that, the difficulties, like we're learning together,
Mm-hmm.
and there's many mistakes that happen along the way, and there's many, like everything is new for them, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to be open kind of for anything to happen.
Mhm.
So, and things happen, unplanned things happen. But when you go with that mentality that you're open to take and to accept anything
Mhm.
and adapt to the situation,
Right.
then many beautiful things can come out of that, you
Yeah.
know. I think that I learned from going to one extreme to the other. What I learned is that it's a really beautiful and expanding things to be open and to go with the flow and not to plan, because this way you give chance to destiny.
Mhm.
When you have everything planned, you don't give chance to destiny, pretty much, you know. Like you're limiting so many your possibilities, your opportunities.
Mhm.
And it's a bit scary in the beginning and uncomfortable
Mhm.
to switch to that lifestyle and mentality, even, you know, it's insecure.
Yeah. So now you allow time to be like more spontaneous and like and yeah, so
All the way, every day, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
With every little thing, it's just that once you tap
Mhm.
into that mentality, into that lifestyle, into that way of thinking, it's
Mhm.
you can't go back.
Mhm.
I mean, unless your job requires it,
Right,
or
right.
your, I don't know, family or anything. But
Yeah, I actually have lived in a similar way for a really, really long time. So this is why I was like, when I saw this post, I was like, oh, yo, I got to see what's going on. Because,
hmm.
and then I've actually started, in actually going back in this opposite direction because as I started like seeing, like when your parents start getting older and everything like that, and like, um, you know, I start to realize, or if you have like kids or something, or like when anybody is you, when you're responsible in any way, shape, or form for another human being, like I guess this can change that dynamic in back into the other direction because obviously when you have children you have to start living for your children, or if your parents you get old you got to start taking care of them, or like at least thinking about like, you know what I mean. And or even with yeah, actually, do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend?
Me, no.
No. So, because then I even thought about this when you have to like start factoring in your partner into your decision making. And I guess this is why I'm so not into the idea of because, you know, it is something to be said about like the freedom of like you just jumping up and getting to move, like I mean you don't have to like actually move, but I mean like if you decide you want to, I don't want to be here right now, and then you just get up and leave where you are and you go do something else without thinking about, you know, uh how it's going to impact another person or something like that. So
Yeah,
it's
I'm not talking about that, you know,
mhm.
but I think that, you know, all these restrictions that we put into ourselves,
Mhm.
into we have to do this, we have to do that in this way or that way, these
Mhm.
are all put there out by society, you
Mhm.
know, and they're, in my opinion, just a way to get us to function into a certain behavior in a certain way so that we're part of the system and so that the system works in a specific way, you know.
Mhm.
I'm not talking about, you know, jumping and moving there, but just being open and open-minded about any possibilities, you know.
Mhm.
We work in a way that, okay, like I have to go there this afternoon, I have to go this tomorrow, I have to eat at that time, but you know,
Mhm.
sometimes someone comes along and tells you, hey, let's do this, and you reply, no, I can't
Mhm.
because I have to do something else.
Mhm.
But it's just, you know, when you tap into that state of flow, that you're open to anything, and you just don't judge, you don't work by a specific model in your mind, you don't
Mhm.
work when you don't work, of course you have to do your job and you
Mhm.
have to do what's necessary, but um but you also have to give chance to destiny,
Mm-hmm.
and then beautiful things happen,
Yeah. Yeah.
beautiful things happen, beautiful paths open,
Mm-hmm.
um, incredible people come along your way that probably you would have turned down. That being for intimate relationships, work relationships, friendships,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, you can apply that to anything. If you're open, then you're receptive and your energy is different.
Yeah.
And you attract way many more people and things into your life.
Yeah.
I am a person who used to be OCD with order and organization. Me being a Scorpio with a Capricorn and having worked for 10 plus years in big corporations.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved order. I didn't want it any other way. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to have everything planned and organized. If not, I would get panic.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting to see how I shifted because, I decided to change what I'm dedicating my time to. So there was no other way for me to function with working with peoples from these countries in these conditions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Possible. You either have to adapt and be open
Mm-hmm.
and make the best out of every situation,
Right.
or it's just not possible. So it's just a bit, let's say I was kind of forced because of my decision, I was forced to start to live in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that not only it was not scary and catastrophic,
Mm-hmm.
but it is just beautiful. And
Mm-hmm.
like so many new things happened in my life that would have never happened
Mm-hmm.
had I not been this way.
Right on. So, well, let me ask you this then: how do the people around you? Because I mean, obviously, people know you in another way, in another capacity. So, how are does anyone think? Oh,
They don't know what's going on. They still don't know what's going on.
right, right.
It's been
Ah,
more
yeah,
than a year now, and they're like, "What's happening?"
yeah, 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 yeah. But
Yeah,
are they like supportive of your? Yeah, that's good.
yes.
That's good.
Everyone is supportive because it's like the uptightness is gone that you have
Mm-hmm.
when you plan everything and when everything is organized and dissected until the last minute your future, and like you're a bit uptight, and I can see that of myself when I
Mm-hmm.
look back at myself before,
Mm-hmm.
and that's gone now. So I guess that's what they see, that I have this very happy smile, and
Right.
whatever happens, I'm like, we'll find a way. We'll sort it out. Oh, come on. There is a solution to
Right,
everything.
right, right. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You just don't take things so seriously. That I think that is also part of that type of mentality,
Mm-hmm.
just yeah, just don't take yourself and everything so seriously, and that there is a solution to everything in any kind of situation,
Yeah.
there's always a solution.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with
More or
you.
less.
Yeah, I mean,